After 2.5 days of jury selection, the murder trial of George Anthony Dominguez Jr. got underway in earnest Thursday afternoon with opening statements from the prosecution and defense.
My name is Daisy Flores, and I'm the prosecutor in this case with Mr. Ford, who will be assisting me. This is my time to sort of give you the overview, the general picture of what this case is about. Now, after the defendant shot Bill, he ran. He ran with everybody else that was with him, and they took off. But he wanted to come back. He decided he was going to come back the next day because he wanted to see if he had killed him. There are some DPS experts that are going to tell you about with the bullet, the trajectory of the bullet, and actually how the bullet may have fragmented. There also is when the shot went off and it hit that window that was at the front of in the door for Bill's home. It was tempered glass. And you're going to hear about that tempered glass, how it fragmented, and how because of those fragments we're able to tell likely the angle of where the shot came from. You're going to hear from the criminalist that those fragments were fired from this weapon, this SKS, that was obtained from the defendant's house. By answering these 5 questions with yes, that you're going to be firmly convinced that the defendant committed all of these crimes that are under the 11 counts.
Their theory is that George Dominguez, our theory is there's no proof that it's George, took a military-style rifle that is chambered for a round that is about that long and shot from less than 10 yards away. And that bullet was so weak, it broke in two when it went through a piece of glass and didn't even penetrate the entire body of Mr. Whelan. That's the state's theory. With this military weapon, designed to kill, designed to blow people's heads off, designed to do considerable and extreme damage in war. But I'll tell you one thing that you're not going to hear any evidence of. You are not going to hear the first piece of forensic evidence that places George Dominguez Jr. at the scene of this crime. There isn't a fingerprint, there isn't DNA, there isn't a shoe print, there isn't a tire track that they can forensically tell you matches up to George. What is there? There's testimony of some witnesses. And the evidence is going to be that this testimony is bought and paid for. And the evidence is going to be that these people are stone cold liars. Nothing that I said and nothing that Ms. Flores said in these opening statements is evidence. It's our attempt to show you where we think the evidence will go. When we get back up, we can have 2 weeks whenever from now and do our closing statements, our closing arguments. Now we'll get to talk to you a lot more detail about what the evidence did show. And at that time, I will be asking you to return verdicts of not guilty on each and every charge presented to you during the course of this trial.
The trial is scheduled to run through Friday, October 18th. This has been John Johnson reporting from Safford for the Eastern Arizona Courier.